So is this the school you have studied at?
Yes, this is the school studied from first standard to fifth standard, and most of the people who have lived in this village and then kept this as a village for their right from childhood days to growing up. So this is the starting school. That's why we call it as elementary school, run by private management, supported by government of Tamil Nadu. All my family members studied in the school. In fact, even my father was one of the school teacher here, taking classes right from first to third standards. The elementary education in the early, say, 60s, after independence, the elementary school education was one of the best actually in the country.
Okay.
And that's the way the school was built its reputation. And in fact, I'm happy to say that this is a school we studied sitting on the floor, and now of course we have the full-fledged structures. We used to have rooftop, then we used to have a sand below. This is the base which has helped many people from our village, including myself, to grow in their own life, whichever way they have grown.
Wow. So this is like coming a full circle in life, as they say, that you started here, you studied in the school. We are back here sitting, doing a conversation over here. Tell us a little bit, what was it like? I mean, you did describe a little bit on how the classrooms were, but classrooms are modernized now. What was it like then? What is it now?
See, one clearly from a rooftop, now it's become a concrete building. Definitely there's a change. And that the way of teaching have completely got changed. I think in the early days, there was no curriculum. You had a certain way of teaching and you're all trained. But today the teachers are fully trained. The government has given a proper curriculum and certain teaching methodologies in which they have to teach. And then smart classes, which I think government has introduced. So the way of teaching have become a lot better, which is modern on one side. At the same time, the old way of teaching with some kind of practical examples and so on and so forth. And all teachers are trained. So they have to compulsorily attend classes, and they need to get qualified under the B.Ed exams or teacher training programs they have to complete. So that essentially means they come with a different skill that is necessary for teaching the children.
So sitting here in one of the classrooms, as a kid, what was your dreams?
See, one good thing in living in this kind of atmosphere, there is no dream. As and when something comes true, you always see dream comes true.
Okay.
We never used to have a dream. And sitting in the classroom, the dream was always to have good study, to have a stable jobs, you have some bit of happiness in life, a contented life, where you sit in the village and work. In fact, as time progresses, as you start getting older in your education, be with the parents and then find a job somewhere here close by. So it was not a dream, it was more of a wish. So otherwise sitting in the classroom, there's absolutely no dream that you used to have. The moment you have a dream, you try to pursue your dream. We did not know which dream we have. As a kid, you have many dreams. Sometimes you think that you want to become an engineer. Sometimes you want to think you become an accountant. Sometimes you think you want to be a scientist and so on and so forth. Therefore, frankly, I never used to have any dream. You know, in the cricket, as the ball comes, you play.
You bat it.
You bat it. So you wait for the ball to come.
Right.
So as the ball comes, you ensure you understand and play the game. So my journey has always been,
Batting
as it comes, you play it. Keep batting, keep batting, keep batting. As it comes, you play.
Very nice. It's very deep learning in that. One of the very important initiatives have been the PM Poshan initiative, which has reached out to a wide cross-section across the country and possibly has been effective in increasing literacy rates. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think that this is something that has been effective in improving academic performance and in fact even attendance in schools for that matter?
See, in fact, I think this was started by one of the oldest chief minister of Tamil Nadu, which is
Okay.
Kamarajar.
Okay.
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 He was a visionary and he was the one primarily responsible for uplifting the rural India. So he introduced noon meal schemes that was pursued by M.G. Ramchandran was the then chief minister, only to encourage the kids to come to the school, so that by giving noon meal schemes, so that becomes the incentive for the school students to come to the school, the kids to come to the school. Therefore, the literacy rates go up significantly.
Right.
Most of the children, I think there are some statistics, the number of kids who actually go to the school with the hunger or not having meal for a day. That's why I think the Prime Minister's initiative of giving noon meal schemes in every school, that not only actually ensured the kids, the hunger goes off, and the parents are encouraged to send their kids to the school. As a result of that, the literacy rates increase significantly. I'm happy to even say that this school also has got the noon meal scheme supported by the government. And as you know, more than 12 crores students in the country benefited of this scheme. There are many initiatives which are taken, even some of the other NGOs,
Right.
such as Akshay Patra. They have done a revolution in the country.
Right.
Annapurna Trust, which is run by Satsai, is again known that they call it a breakfast, morning breakfast. This was introduced on two grounds. One, the nutrition levels have to get better for students. They should become healthy. They should not have hunger. They should also have encouragement and incentive to come to the school, so that literacy rates also go up. So this is the way I think it is. And most of the students not just come only for food, they also of course learn a lot.
Right.
So they don't just have the food and then walk out. They stick in the school till about 4:30, till the last classroom sessions. They go. That means the seriousness comes in.
Correct.
So I'm quite happy the way Prime Minister has driven this across the country, which I would say it was not prevalent across the country initially. It was there only for most state specific.
Right.
Now it became all India initiatives under the Prime Minister the scheme. So more and more students are getting benefit out of this.
Very nice. And I think it's very standardized also. In
No,
terms of-
standardized, they've done it to the extent, I think when initially it started as just simple giving a meal, given the health impact
Right.
that the food should give for every student, because they need to become healthy, they need to be nutritionally sufficient for their leading a healthy life.
Right.
They should not have any other ailments. Therefore, each of these menus have been predefined by the government through the orders. Now, across the school, same food will be served, and the menu will be served
Right.
Okay.
and cooked here in the school itself. Is not cooked somewhere outside and brought in. So, this is all something which I think beautifully has been institutionalized. So, I think many times
Yeah.
what needs to be appreciated. It's not about the scheme. How well it is institutionalized, implemented, and seriousness is brought in is something have worked really well.
So in the rural section, what do you think? How has technical skills improved, and how has engineering schools come in?
I think one of the bigger things that I think country as a whole had,
Yeah.
which is provided in every state, which is the ITI, the Indian Technology Institute,
Okay, sir.
which is not in the higher end of the education, it's in the lower end of the education. After your 12th pass out or
directly.
10th pass out, you become ITI.
Okay.
ITI is about 3-year course. They will tell you everything about engineering activities.
Okay.
This is not just today, it's been prevalent for many number of years.
Like a
Before you get into engineering, the whole our curriculum system is diploma engineers. And diploma engineering are employables, not that diploma engineers are not employables. So most of the students in rural villages, they become diploma engineers. In fact, most of the people, even my own village, I know, they work for Larsen & Toubro, one of the largest engineering companies in the country. They become an engineers there. They will be managing the plant.
Right.
They will be managing some sites. So that's the way I think the technical understanding of the people have, which I think largely I see it coming from the common sense approach which a common man brings, which is basically the role education. It's not about education, it's about willingness to learn and do things. That's something happens.
More hands-on.
More hands-on as a result of that.
Do you think education tech has democratized quality of education? I mean, we saw that there are smart classes also here. Apart from what they are learning in classroom, there is an experiential way of learning through internet, YouTube videos, etc. Do you think this has been one of the most transformational piece in education?
I think transformational piece definitely technology changes. Definitely makes it easier for people to learn. But at the schools, the inclusiveness to learn through the technology platform is less. So classroom sessions, especially villages, is more prevalent, and that's the most best way of teaching. But of course, the classroom session that we have, of course, is again promoted by the government. The visual way of teaching will have a greater impact.
Right.
Listening to the videos and listening to the pictures, and they're able to relate it. That's we call it smart classrooms.
Okay.
The smart classroom at least prepares the students to know about the latest way of learning. And that's something I want to emphasize. For them, actually, when they get into from 5th standard, when they graduate themselves to the 6th and beyond, their ability to understand certain things become far better.
Right.
This has now become quite prevalent. More for preparing the schools for any have to have separate classroom sessions using computers. So that's something they can do. That's why I think it comes in handy.
Yeah. Also, sir, I think even in urban centers, like you can sit in a city in Bombay and possibly enroll to a course in Stanford, because I mean, you know, it's education taken through that. It's all in front of your laptop, and you know, you can take up any courses. So would you think that possibly even the curiosity or the education levels, interest in itself across the country has increased? I mean, we have great students, we have great professionals from this country, but I think this has also fueled...
I think it has removed the barriers. So earlier there was a barrier. If you want to educate yourself more,
Right.
you have to move from one city to
One
other city.
city.
Yeah.
True.
One place to other place.
True.
Yeah.
Then used to be a cost was involved. The
Right.
traveling cost was
Right.
involved. Today the barrier is completely gone. So technology removes
Exactly.
the barrier. Anywhere in the world you live, you can actually educate yourself. It all about depending upon individuals how much they want to learn. So most of the individuals today, they prefer online education for uplifting the knowledge. The quest for learning is always high.
Very true.
And the barrier is not there. Therefore, that is something we see it happening in the urban India.
Yeah.
I am seeing also this happening in the rural India. The other area it also helps is in the startup culture.
Okay.
So I think number of startups in the country which has been growing,
Yes.
and the agriculture economy, the rural India,
Right.
also create startup economy. They want to have their own startup. The startup may not be a large scale size. The startup will be small in size. It will be very small. They don't do the startup for making millions of dollars money. They want to start up for initially self-living.
Yeah.
They want to be self-sustainable.
Right.
If that becomes larger, then it's good.
Right.
They don't do a startup here. They are not thinking about startup for the building a huge scales, serving crores and crores of people.
Right.
They may be doing only for a small community.
True.
So as it gains momentum and popularity, then you will see this also is changing. But definitely one thing is that the people, that generation who is coming next, they want next generation actually get better. Therefore, the focus on the next generation in uplifting the knowledge
Yes.
or educational background is far higher.
Higher.
So like you mentioned about startups, what do you think has fired the spirit of entrepreneurship in India, and how has it impacted rural India as well?
So I think definitely one, the vision set up by our Honorable Prime Minister started to fall from Digital India, Make in India, Digital India, and Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. This is all with intention. It's been rolled out to uplift the whole India, right? So that's why I think startup culture also came. Given the fact that most of the companies have gone abroad, worked in multiple companies, they are become successful by setting up startup companies. Most of the companies go overseas, all started by Indians. And Indians also have started, many companies have started up as a startup, all become very large in size. But then the opportunity which is there, which is about 145 crores population, agriculture economy is large, rural India is bigger, and people are quite entrepreneurial nature. To unleash the potential of the entrepreneurial nature of our citizen, especially young population, so they are reasonably well educated,
Okay.
to make them understand how they can become a venture, they can create a venture by themselves. So I think startup came. Even in the rural India, where how this startup is being created, if somebody wants to set up a shop, I'm just saying a simple example of motorcycle repair shop. That may cost about say 5 to 7 lakh rupees for him to set it up.
Okay, sir.
Somebody has to give the funding. So government of India provides the funding for them to encourage them actually to create a startup. They go to the low bank, they will get at a very nominal rate of interest. Somebody they get a subvention to encourage more. That encouragement has come to the financing model, through the public sector banks or private sector banks, by way of priority sector loan, we call it, by way of private sector loan. Once under the priority sectors, when you start getting it under the certain theme, then naturally you get boosted. So it became a startup culture. So even for example, educational loan, so below 7 lakh rupees, The interest rates are no guarantee is given. The assets have to be created, and you don't need to pledge anything.
Okay, sir.
But as long as the limit is 7 lakh rupees. So that's, I think, most of the banks provide that.
Okay.
The moment it comes, automatically for youngsters who passes out, he has choice in front of him. Either I go and work for somebody else, or I work for myself, create a firm for myself. So they don't do it in a proper structures. But actually being on their own itself is startup.
Okay.
So that is the way I think startup culture comes. As they gain more and more knowledge, know-how, then they start thinking a little big. And that's why I think you'll find, in any case, for every 1,000 startups, say about 100 will be success, 900 will be failure.
True.
That's okay, but at least the ability to take risk and venture it out, I think the culture is rising, which in my view, currently there are about some 98,000 roughly startups registered in India. In all probability, this will become millions over a period of next 5-7 years.
Yes, sir.
Final question, what will be your message to young students who have set their eyes on being entrepreneurs? How can they maintain the spirit of innovation? How can they, keep the spirit of or curiosity towards science and innovation alive? We are going to the moon. So, of course, our level of innovation has gone to another level. What would be your message?
Everyone should pursue their ambition, what they have. Ambition, there is absolute no limit. At the same time, they need to put their hard work, both in terms of uplifting their educations, understanding new way of doing things, improve your skills on an ongoing basis. You can't sit on a complacency and saying things will come to me. That's something youngsters should not do. I think they need to think the world is beyond what they imagine.
Right.
Therefore, they go all out and be frank, be bold, be confident, ready to do the hard work to ensure that you are able to get into the battlefield and try your luck. Ultimately, luck of course will play a role, no doubt.
Right.
But definitely the confidence level, if it is there. So one of the things that I always see from the rural village, they may be extremely equipped, knowledgeable in every possible way. But they may not be very strong in articulating, going out and communicating, because there is fear. So therefore, they should always think that the world is different. As they get into the field, they can manage it. Right. That confidence is a must for every young citizen of the country.
Great, sir. Thank you so much for taking us through this trajectory of education in India, and what better place but your school to come and have this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.